Today is the 16th of January, and I've gone to the grocery store this morning. I've done 2 hours, almost 3 hours of walking slow. I'm going to try and run tomorrow instead of walking. And I've been doing the AI review, just finished that. Notice that they have stereotypes, I think, for Americans. I'm going to try tomorrow to see if I upload people from that are not ethnically American, if they upload them with normal weight. Right now, every time I load a picture of my husband or myself and I don't specify that I'm skinny or that he's skinny, that it automatically assumes that he's fat or that I'm fat. Even though in my pictures it's very clear that I don't have any fat on my face. So that's basically what I'm going to try tomorrow. Been talking to my mom today about my son and about some of the things that he went through as a teenager and trying to brainstorm that. And it was kind of neat that the voices were kind of explaining that I was trying to figure the confusion out as to what had happened. Like I said, they kind of interact more with each other than they do with me, which is not something I thought when somebody would tell me that somebody heard voices, not something I thought would be the case, that they have their own social network between them, and that they're participating in their own, kind of talking back and forth to each other and kind of getting information from each other. So it's kind of interesting, actually. I find that it's definitely keeps me from being bored. There are some good things about it. I never feel alone. I always feel like there's someone there in some way, even if they're quiet, which sometimes they're quiet a lot. I probably make them talk more than, as far as like I check on them. If they get really quiet, then they know that if I think about them, they respond. So they know that I'm kind of questioning them. I don't know what their experience of that's like. I don't know if they're hearing it. I don't know if it's kind of like tapping them on the shoulder. I don't know. I worry about those kinds of things. So I'm not sure how they know that I'm concerned about it. But even my thought, they respond to me thinking about whether or not they're there, whether or not they're okay. Got my Bible study done this morning. Got a day ahead of time, actually. I have not done, well, I guess I did a new recipe this week. Was my pan cornmeal that's like pre-cooked cornmeal. It has a pre-cooked texture to it, so it doesn't taste like cornmeal. It's not as it doesn't have the flakiness like a normal cornbread. It's more dense, so it doesn't give you that cakey feeling. It's kind of more like a tamale texture type of thing. So I found that's still good in the chili. I made cornbread out of it. It's, like I said, kind of dense, but when you break it up in the chili, it still tastes really good. It's got that corn taste. So that was my one recipe this week. That was a new ingredient with a new recipe. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I went to the grocery store this morning, but I didn't pick up something new. I guess I picked up a new ingredient. I picked up apple cinnamon rice cakes, which I don't normally pick up. I've done the caramel ones, but not the apple cinnamon ones. But it's not really a new ingredient. That's kind of cheating a little bit to say that the flavor is different. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I've got chili and I've got one more day of panko crusted pork tenderloin in there. So I've got one more recipe to do for because I put meals in the refrigerator that are easy for my husband to take to work. So I have to go through my freezer and look to see what that next ingredient's going to be. The advice for the president today was more of a thought-provoking, not really advice today. It was more of a mental exercise to get him to think about invading Greenland. And instead of going against what he's advising himself to do, instead of supporting that action with and kind of going up against people that are saying it's probably not a good idea. It's kind of that's not our land. That's not our right to it. That's not, yes, you can offer them money to buy it. You can try and do a business deal for it, but as far as militarily going into it, we don't have a right to that. That's morally wrong, even if it is something that you think you need. It's just got a moral connotation to it that it's not right. But instead of approaching him that way, because of his personality type, because of his sensitivity to people that argue with him, is instead to ask questions like a child. Are you going to get advice from Putin as to what to do when you want to take a land that's not yours? Are you going to do like Putin did and put people on the ground and fight to take the land over? Are we going to get hit by missiles? Are the other countries going to come to Greenland's defense? And is this a possible nuclear problem for us? How much blood is going to be shed? What should I tell my children when they ask about why somebody's bombing us from other places? What should I tell them about the shedding of blood because you think that you need it for a strategic positioning type of thing? What do you advise us to do? How should we approach our own mental and moral fears? And, are you getting advice from countries that have gone into lands? And how should I prepare? How should my children prepare? How should I explain that to my grandchildren? And, what is it that you want me to tell them for when they want something that's not theirs, that they feel that they need in a store, in a situation where they think they need something, but it's not theirs, and the person won't let them buy it. So that was today's presidential checkup. And so yeah, that's been my day today. So I hope you guys are doing well. I want to just go over one small thing that's not really a small thing. It's kind of an out of control thing. And I know that part of this started on TikTok. But your camera, when you're doing videos, should be treated and respected like it's a person. It should be treated and acknowledged that that's a person's face. So when you go in with your face, or you go in with your hands to do a transition, or you do things to the camera that you would never do to somebody's face, is that it is an attack on the people that are watching you. They will turn you off. They will stop watching you. It's only a matter of time until you get down to the part of them that's offended by that. And there's an etiquette that when you went to video school, when you went to school to learn how to be a videographer, that you were taught about those things. And you were taught about the receiving of what you were doing, not just the giving what you're doing to the public. And so I just want to stress to you that you are in a closed environment. You are not in a world where you're not going to be touched back by what you do. You're in an environment where what you do is contagious. Your behavior is contagious. What they see on TV is contagious. We had Rain Man come out, and within 12 months, we had skyrocketing scores of people with autism and with those kinds of disorders. It's just took off and ballooned, whether they knew it was coming and that's why they made the movie, or whether it just happened. Conjugated vaccines is the one differential that happened when that was happening. So they could have known when they gave those vaccines that that was going to happen. They gave conjugated vaccines in different countries on different years. So you can see that the trend of autism followed the year that the vaccine was given. It does not follow the same year in all countries. It was followed the timeline of conjugated vaccines. And so just like, diseases are contagious, just like, any of those kinds of things, what you do will be picked up by the world. And in the Bible, it talks about when you do something, you're going to get it tenfold back. And it's more like a couple of thousand times back, because you got to think about how many people that spreads to and how many people you come in contact with on a daily basis. If everybody's doing it back to you and you're in contact with, let's say, 10 people a day, and 10% of the population's doing it, that's once a day you're going to get hit with it. If you're advertising through email and you're sending spam and you think, oh, that's such a great idea, and you get to your inbox and you have 40 emails that are spam from 40 different companies, and you get to the point where you just stop and ignore all of them because it's just too much. Same goes for Elon Musk. When he wants to put 44,000 satellites from one man, one company into space in a competitive market where companies and countries are competing on a regular basis, and futuristically, if one person's doing it, chances are you're going to have 20 people doing the same thing, and 20 times 44,000 satellites, that's a lot of trash up there. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. And so you have to not just look at what you want to do, but can you handle that coming back at you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold? So be careful with your editing. Be careful with what you're doing. That camera is just like someone's eyes. If you wouldn't get that close to them in person and do what you're doing to them in person as to what you're doing to your camera, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, it's already annoying. I see it in 50% of the videos where they make it so annoying that you just can't watch. It's just too much to watch. So just wanted to add that in there today. But you guys have a great day. Thanks.